Good morning, students. In today's lecture, we will talk about the linear structure of glucose. Remember, two structures are proposed for glucose. One is your linear structure, that is your acyclic structure, and second one is your cyclic structure. You know it very well that glucose is a type of monosaccharides. The simplest carbohydrates are called the monosaccharides, or we can say the carbohydrates which do not undergo further hydrolysis reaction are called monosaccharides. Glucose contains 6 carbon atoms with aldehyde group as the main group or the principal group. That's why glucose is also called aldohexose. Remember, it is also called dextrose. One more name is there for glucose, that is dextrose. Now, the molecular formula of glucose is C6H12O6. There are 6 carbon atoms in glucose molecule. With 6 carbon atom, glucose contains 1 CHO group and 5 OH group. 1 CHO group and 5 OH group. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Out of 5 OH group, one is your primary alcoholic group and remaining 4 are secondary alcoholic group. And it is a straight chain compound. There is no branching. So we have to prove that glucose contains aldehyde group, glucose contains primary alcoholic group, glucose contains 5 hydroxy group, and last, glucose is having a straight chain structure. There is no branching present in the structure of glucose. All these structural parameters can be proved by the help of chemical reactions. So by the help of chemical reaction, we will prove the structure of glucose. What we have to prove? We have to prove that glucose contains aldehyde group, glucose contains 5 hydroxy group, that is alcoholic group. Out of 5, 1 is your primary alcoholic group, and glucose is having a straight chain structure. So let's start with the first chemical reaction, proving that glucose contains carbonyl group. You know it very well that aldehyde and ketones are called the carbonyl groups. So first we will find out whether carbonyl group is there or not. If it is there, then in next step we will find out whether the group is aldehyde group or ketone group. So first we are finding out whether carbonyl group is there or not. So for this compound is made to react with hydroxylamine, NH2OH, or we can say it is made to react with HCN, HCN, hydrogen cyanide. We know it very well that C double bond O group, that is your carbonyl group, reacts with hydroxylamine, and by the reaction it forms oxime. Carbonyl group also reacts with HCN and forms cyanohydrine, the organic compounds where CN group and OH group both are there. So here this compound reacts with NH2OH and forms glucose monooxime. Here the reaction will take place. As monooxime formation is there from glucose, it shows that one carbonyl group is present. Again, it reacts with HCN also. and form cyanohydrine. You know the meaning of cyanohydrine. The organic compounds in which CN group and OH group both are there are called cyanohydrine. So here we get cyanohydrine of glucose. Formation of cyanohydrine is an important reaction of carbonyl group. It can be aldehyde, it can be ketone. So both the reaction, that is formation of glucose monoxide and formation of cyanohydrine of glucose, confirms the presence of carbonyl group. Yes, C double bond O group is there in glucose. Now we will prove that the given group is your aldehyde group. We know it very well that CHO group, that is aldehyde group, is highly susceptible towards oxidation. Mild oxidizing agents or weak oxidizing agents can oxidize CHO group to C double bond OH group, that is your carboxylic acid group. And ketones are highly resistant towards oxidation. Ketones never exhibit oxidation in presence of Tollens reagent or any other weak oxidizing agent like bromine water. So when glucose is made to react with bromine water or Tollens reagent, then your CHO group gets converted to COOH group. There will be no effect on the remaining part, on the remaining units. Only CHO group will be converted to COH group. So glucose gets converted to gluconic acid. So glucose is forming gluconic acid, in which CHO group is converted to C double bond OH group. Confirms that the carbonyl group is your aldehyde group. Now, next we have to prove that there is one primary alcoholic group. There is one primary alcoholic group, CH2OH. OH is bonded with 1 degree carbon atom. So how to prove? How to prove? Primary alcoholic group in presence of strong oxidizing agents like concentrated nitric acid gets converted to C double bond OH unit, that is your carboxylic acid group. So when made to react with concentrated HNO3, CH2OH unit gets converted to COH unit, and we know it very well that CHO group is highly susceptible towards oxidation. So CHO group will also undergo oxidation and we will get C double bond OH. So CHO and CH2OH, both units gets converted to C double bond OH, C double bond OH, and glucose gets converted to saccharic acid. So formation of saccharic acid in presence of concentrated nitric acid confirms the presence of primary alcoholic group. Now we have to prove that there are 5 hydroxy group, or we can say there are 5 alcoholic group. We know it very well that alcoholic group or OH group reacts with C double bond OH group, that is your carboxylic acid group, and gets converted to ester. If acid derivatives are taken like acid anhydride, then it will show the same reaction. H part from alcohol will be removed and acetate part will be added to the carbon where OH groups are there. So when glucose is made to react with acetic anhydride, all the OH unit gets converted to ester linkage, as a result of which we obtain glucose pentaacetate. OH group gets converted to ester group. As we are getting pentaacetate, it means the glucose molecule contains 5 OH group. Glucose gets converted to the compound glucose pentaacetate where 5 ester linkages are there. So formation of glucose pentaacetate confirms the presence of 5 OH group in glucose. And the last one, we have to prove that structure of glucose is a straight chain structure. There is no branching. When made to react with HI, that is your strong reducing agent, all the units in glucose will be reduced, and glucose on reduction forms normal hexane, an alkane with no branching. That is your normal hexane. So formation of normal hexane from glucose on reduction confirms that glucose lacks branching. There is no branching present in glucose. So it is all about the linear structure of glucose or proving the linear structure of glucose. In next lecture, we will talk about cyclic structure of glucose. What is the need of cyclic structure? Why it was required? So all that part will be covered in our next lecture. That's all for today. Thank you and have a good day.